Hi everybody, and welcome to the Open Cry market commentary for the 21st of October. My name's Simon Clark from Trade with Precision, standing in for Toby Gennaro. Now the first market I'm going to take a look at today here is the S&P 500. This is the ES mini futures contract. We've been in a lovely strong uptrend on this market for some time now. In fact, we've quite overextended at this moment in time. We've had some very bullish price action here on the monthly chart. This just looks almost sort of flawless. We've got a lovely strong uptrend, lovely strong bullish price momentum, indicators, all our moving averages in the right order, lovely convergence on the indicators too. When we start to come down to the weekly chart, we start to see the first sort of signs of some possible underlying weakness in the market. Whilst we've still got continued strong higher highs in price, we've now started to get some divergence appearing through here in the underlying market, as indicated here by the MACD and the RSI. Now at this moment in time, this market still looks incredibly bullish, and every time the market comes back into the buy zone here, in between the 10 and the 20 period moving average, we get that low candle, we get the exhaustion of the pullback, and the market continues to make new highs. And this has just happened continuously here, the past sort of 3 times that's happened. And there's no reason to think that this is going to not happen again. But just the fact that we've got some bearish divergence here in the market coming through just starts to indicate that we might be expecting some kind of pullback at some point in time. Now, if we take a look down here at the daily chart, and if I just zoom this up a little bit, we can see this sort of divergence that's sort of playing out here on the daily. So every time the daily's been making new highs, we've now got the lower highs here in a MACD, but the price action is looking very strong. We are quite extended from the moving averages, and last week was a very bullish week, and price rallied from these lows down here back up to the highs and even making a new high on this market. So we're quite overextended. Moving averages just coming round into the right order again here, and we're sitting around, well, it's around that sort of like 1700 level. We've got a level I've marked in here which kind of clusters with these previous highs through here. So it's been, this level has been, which is sort of 1687, but that's been prior support and resistance. Well, in actual fact, we could raise that level up to there, to cluster with these highs here and these highs here. That's 1697. It's as close as 1700 as you'd like to get. That's a nice sort of round number around that area. It also happens to cluster around the buy zone as well here, where the 10 and the 20 and the 50 period moving average are. So a pullback to this sort of area would just look nice and healthy, and it would also tie in nicely with the sort of divergence that we've got here on these higher time frames too. So whether the market's going to have a healthy pullback or not like that this week is going to be the question. Now certainly at the moment, even coming down here to the lower time frames, this is the 480 chart, have we got any signs of any pullback at this moment in time? It doesn't look it at the moment. It's still looking extremely bullish. A little bit overextended from the moving averages here, but we've got all of our moving averages in the right order. Very strong sort of convergence here on our MACD and our RSI. So at this moment in time, looking for price to be sort of pulling back into these buy zones and looking to see how this is going to be trading going forward. Now, because we've got these sort of divergence appearing on these higher time frames, what I'll be a little bit cautious about is actually looking at new swing long positions at these levels. Be much more interested to trade this on a day trading basis as price pulls back into the sort of buy zone here on these lower time frames, and even down on the 60-minute chart, 120 and the sort of 240 chart as well. Now the next market I'm looking at here is the Nasdaq, and it's always good to be able to take a look at the S&Ps in conjunction, or the stock market I should say, in conjunction with a couple of markets. So we're taking a look at the S&P 500. Now we're going to take a look at the Nasdaq, and this is the NQ contract. Now the Nasdaq looks extremely bullish, and for some time this looks like this market has almost been leading the stock market. It's been much more bullish than the other markets as a whole. Now the monthly chart, as we can see here, is extremely nice, lovely price structure here, and we've just been continuously making higher highs and higher lows as prices moving up. At this moment in time, we can see, the current month where we are, we're right at the highs. We're at far more extended than we've ever been right the way back through here since 2009, and we've got very, very bullish price momentum at the moment, quite overextended from the averages. If we take a look at the weekly chart, this becomes a lot more apparent here. Here on the weekly chart, we can see the past week, very bullish price action, very strong move to the high side, and we're quite overextended from the moving averages. However, if we come down here to the indicators here, we can see that we've got lovely strong convergence here on the Nasdaq, as opposed to the S&P 500, where we actually had some divergences here. Here we've got some nice convergence. Coming across to the daily chart, we can see here on the daily chart, price last week did make a massive rally. We're quite overextended at the moment from the averages. In fact, the averages have just had just getting into, having time to sort of move around into the right order. So again, looking like there is possibilities, or certainly the time is ripe for a bit of a pullback. Whether we're going to get one or not is, we haven't seen any indication of one yet, but it just means that these sorts of levels with the current sort of price action, it means that swing trading opportunities, I want to wait for pullbacks into the moving averages, wait for a bit of a healthy pullback on these higher time frames, but on the lower time frames we can still look for shorter term day trading opportunities. So taking a look here at the daily chart, we can see we've got a level that, well, probably this sort of level up here around the sort of 3,250-ish, that sort of area, clustering with these old highs, is a nice area that we could look for a potential pullback if we're going to get one. Coming down to the sort of 480 chart, you can see the sort of chart structure that we're looking for here on these lower time frames, where we've got our moving averages in the right order. We've got lovely convergence here on the indicators. At this moment in time, again, as I say, we're a little bit overextended, as we can see here on the 480. So a bit of a pullback into these sort of averages, back into the buy zone, is ideally what I'm looking for before looking for new positions going to the long side. Okay, the last market I'm going to look at today here is euro dollar, and euro dollar is really just an inverse of dollar weakness here. If we take a look here at the monthly chart, we can see that euro dollar for some time now, going back to sort of 2009, it's pretty much been within a range, within a very big range. We've had some lovely trends within this range, but we can see here around the 1500 level down to around the sort of the 200 level, or 1.2 I should say. Those sorts of areas, we can see that price has been ranging and trading within those ranges. Now at the moment, price has come down. It's sort of tested this 1.2 level. In fact, we actually made a higher low here at this point. Price has now moved up. It's now come down and made another higher low, and then now we're testing this previous high here. So if we actually break this high here, we're actually then into a higher high. Let me just mark that on there. So if we actually break this level where we are at the moment, just pushing up, we're going to make a new higher high. So then we've got higher lows, higher high. We've got a new uptrend here. Where it might go to, I'm not sure. It might move back up to the 150 1.5 level up here, 1.5 thousand. There certainly doesn't look like there's anything in the way on the monthly chart for that to for stopping price getting up to that level. And we certainly got some lovely convergence on the indicators too. So if we come down to the weekly chart, we can see here on the weekly, we can see the price action a lot more clearly. We've got our moving averages all in the right order as well, and we've got some lovely convergence here on the indicators. Now last week we had a very strong bullish week as well. Coming down to the daily, we can see the price action. We can see we've got a big move to the high side here. a little bit overextended at this moment in time. So just looking for potential sort of opportunities where price may pull back before we get a move back on to the long side. But certainly at this moment in time, it looks like euro dollar is moving round, and we could get a prolonged move back up to the upside. But obviously a lot of that is going to continue on the US dollar weakness. So that concludes the market outlook for the 21st of October. I'd like to thank you for watching the Open Cry market commentary and look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye for now.